said you guys might be a little bit tough waking up in the morning. So I saw this guy on the way out. He had kind of a weird-looking sombrero hat thing on, dark glasses, and this robe. And he said to tell you that they just now opened up another one of those commandments. And you can take this home. He said the commandment is whistle while you work. Now they thought that that was a Disney thing, but no. They got it right from God. So remember to do that. Will you? Whistle while you work. All right. It's so much fun to be here. Thanks for having me back. This is a blast. Thank you, Reverend Dana, for being such a big part in making this easy for me. I appreciate you as I come here to celebrate so many things. My father's 94th birthday and the arrival of my newest grandson, Simon Michael. And I also celebrate my 25th year of recovery in AA. And this is home to me. This is like Mecca for me. I come home to Northeast Ohio, of all places, to connect with my family, my children, my grandchildren, my brothers and sisters, and just everybody seems to be so much love present here for me. I want to thank Reverend Megan for doing such a wonderful meditation. Always get such a great feeling when I go within and become that which I want to be in the world. And I have so much to tell you. I want to keep on moving. I have so much that I want to share with you today. And there's a lot going on in regards to this idea of filling the God-shaped hole that we're going to talk about later if you have the opportunity to be here for that. But there really is a lot of things that are happening in and around what we know about what we've been taught all our lives. And how much things seem to change as we look deeper into our own humanity, when we look deeper into how things might really have been. So if I were to stand here today and say to you, Tovehun, Maskenai, Rukha, Malkuta, Deshmea, you might not know what I was saying. But those of you who understand Aramaic might. And Aramaic was the chosen words that Jesus spoke. It was his language. Some say he may have even spoke in Greek because he was so close to Galilee, which was a Greek-speaking area. And so what happened to those wonderful words, Tovehun, Maskenai, Rukha, Malkuta, Deshmeh, were translated into Greek. And from Greek to maybe German, maybe Old English, before we ever saw them in the words that you might recognize as, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And you know what happened in the translation? I missed it. I didn't get it. I don't understand what blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven, could possibly mean to me. Because I didn't live 2,000 years ago to understand the understanding of that culture. I didn't get it. You know, 40, 50 years ago, to be square was to be something kind of out of tune, out of touch. But you go back 70 or so years ago, and to be square was the best thing you could be. You were founded and stable, and you were a straight shooter. And so things have changed. Ideas have changed. What really has changed is the understanding that we have. And so, as I started to dig into this idea of blessed are the poor in spirit, I wanted to know, first of all, where they got this word blessed. Do you know that the word beatitude is nowhere in the Bible? And we say that these are the fundamental teachings of our way shower, Jesus Christ. The fundamental teachings, everything that he taught could be wrapped up into that Sermon on the Mount. Or so it is said. So they really didn't have a word like beatitude. They didn't even have, it was Latin from the word beati, which means to be happy. Or to be not just happy, but to be divinely happy. Blessed, or toivehum, means to live in the divine presence. In other words, to be supremely happy. So if Jesus were saying, giving us advice, teaching us how to be happy, he wouldn't have been talking about after we die. So we got that straight. We're talking about the idea of being happy in this now moment. So in order to be happy, Jesus suggests that we be poor in spirit. And I thought to myself, oh, that doesn't connect. I don't feel good about that. I don't get any warm fuzzies about being poor in spirit. I don't want to be poor in anything. I'm an abundant human being on a plentiful universe, and I want all that I can have. I don't want to be poor in anything, especially in spirit, because in spirit for me, as I think about it, is the connection, my connection with God. But what Jesus was talking about, or so close as we can figure out, is that poor in spirit meant that you weren't so rigid, so spirit-filled with your own assumptions, so that you didn't have so much defense about what was you believed to be true, that you were truly poor in spirit in the way that they viewed spirit at that time. If we were to translate what Jesus said then today, it might sound more like this. Blessed are those who don't think they know everything, for they have an opportunity to know the truth. And it was the first thing he talked about in the Beatitudes. Think about that. Now, if there were a teacher that came out today and said, blessed are those who don't think they know everything, would that make some sense to you? Would that resonate in your heart? Would you feel like, maybe if I don't know everything, there's more room to grow. Maybe if I don't know everything, I could learn something. Maybe if there was a way for me to connect with this idea of allowing more to unfold, that would really be a fertile ground to live in, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it really make you happy? It's like a kid going out into the biggest playground that ever was. It's like Disney World. Oh, look, there's so much I haven't seen, so much I haven't done, so much that I could go out and explore. Did Jesus really want us to be happy? Does the divine in the universe, does God want us to be happy? Yeah? No? Maybe? Yes. I don't think the divine really cares. I don't think the divine can care. I don't think that it's any big deal to God whether you're happy or not. I don't think God has the concept or even the ability to be vindictive. You see, the way I look at it is that God is this wonderful, omnipresent power and force that we live in, move in, and have our being in. Oh, does that sound biblical? I believe that this presence, this essence of God, is closer than our next breath. That sounds biblical too. At hand. I think that when Jesus talked about the second coming, he wasn't talking about the second coming of Jesus, but the second coming of the Christ. This spiritual fulfillment, this anointing that we receive when we accept the spiritual teachings that have been laid before us for eons. And it's all about how to get happy, in my way of thinking. I mean, what better question could you ask someone than this? Are you happy? It makes them stop. It makes them stop in their tracks and think about, well, let me think. Well, yeah, I guess I'm happy. Is that the kind of happy that you want? So we walk this tightrope. We walk this tightrope of our real feelings on one side, what's really going on in the face of the planet for us as we perceive it, as we see it, and some of it isn't pretty. You know, Reverend Dana talked about the events of 9/11. That was some difficult stuff to move through. I don't think anybody in this room heard the news and went, oh, yeah, oh well, so what? I don't think anyone, including the Dalai Lama, said, well, it's all in a day's happening. I think everyone on the planet was affected to some degree about what happens when mankind has an atrocity toward mankind. We revolt, we rebel, we feel this undulation in the very gut, the very core of our being, and we want to know, why does this happen? And some of us revert to an anger issue where we want to go back and punch them back as hard as we can. I'll show you. You hit us, we'll hit 10 of yours. What would it have been like on 9/11 if we would have sat down with the terrorist group or whoever it really was that was behind all of that and said, what's the issue? How can we do this better? How can we have a better relationship instead of one that's filled with revenge and anger? What if we thought we didn't have all the answers? What if we took the advice of Jesus and realized that divinely happy are those who don't think they know everything? Wouldn't it be a little easier to move through the balance of life? And I find that we have a tendency to put on a happy face. We have a tendency to want, especially when we come and gather together. I saw a few of you at the front door putting yours on. Hi. I'm a spiritual being. This close to nirvana, you know. A couple more days and I'll be an ascended master. Let's hope. But that may not be everything that's going on. And there are some people that have a tremendous amount of drama in their lives. And it seems that they feed on that drama. They want something to complain about. They want something to be miserable about because it's who they have decided they are. And it becomes their identity in life. And then they would say, oh, that's Gertrude. We don't have any Gertrudes in here. That's Gertrude. She has such a terrible life. And we see that. We identify that in poor Gertrude. And that's who she becomes to herself and who she becomes to us. And my question, my goal, my desire in life is to find a calm peace in my soul. To find a place where I can move through the vicissitudes of life without falling off the edge, without becoming something so excitable or excited about that I lose the middle ground. Buddha talked about it all the time. Walking that path, that razor's edge. That not one thing is too much. One thing is too little. We talked about moderation. Moderation, even moderation in moderation, I think is